Delanco Township Committee Meeting of December 2nd, 2024, beginning at 7 p.m. at the Delanco Township Municipal Building, 770 Coopertown Road, Delanco, New Jersey.
Tyson's doing nothing in the public part. It's all one.
Of course.
Mayor, you are recording.
Ooh, I hear an echo. I hear myself coming out of your speaker.
Okay,
The
that's
grant
fine.
that we received for the water was in
Try
the...
that.
Test 1, 2, 3.
You got it.
I don't hear myself, so that's good.
Great. Was there a lot of them?
My wife usually agrees. All right. Good evening. Welcome to the December 2nd, 2024 Township Committee Meeting held scheduled for 7 o'clock p.m. at the Municipal Building, starting at 7:15, 770 Coopertown Road in Delanco. Can I have a roll call, please? Janice.
Mrs. Patrick.
Here.
Mr. Lett.
Here.
Ms. Seuss.
Here.
Mr. Templeton.
Here.
Mr. Bartlett.
Here. Also present, Mr. Schwab, our Township Administrator, Mr. Fox, our Engineer, Mr. Heinhold, our Solicitor, Mrs. Lohr, our Municipal Clerk, Mrs. Russell, our Deputy Municipal Clerk, Mr. Fenimore, our Superintendent of Public Works, Lieutenant Warren from the Police Department. That's everybody, right? Yep. All right, please rise for the flag salute. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Sunshine Statement, please, Janice.
Please be advised that proper notice of this meeting has been given in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act in the following manner. Written notice has been mailed to the Pelham County Times and Courier Post and published in the January 4th, 2024 editions. Written notice has been posted on the official bulletin board of the Township of Delanco at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. This meeting of the Delanco Township Committee may be transmitted via live stream on YouTube video. Streaming of the meeting is not intended to be relied upon as formal public access under the Open Public Meetings Act, and if the technology is disrupted for any reason, the Township meeting will proceed in person as an official meeting in accordance with the official notice.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda is the 2025 Community Development Block Grant Application Public Hearing. And is there any preliminary statement on that, Janice, before we open it to the public?
I'm sorry?
Is there a preliminary explanatory statement before we open the meeting to the public?
I think if Harry would just like to go over what the proposed application will be, I think that
Sure.
would be.
That'd be great,
before we
Harry.
have the public hearing.
This is for a community development block grant.
Into the mic, Harry? It's
application.
long enough.
I know. And it's federal money, it's HUD money that the county disperses to the individual municipalities. And it has to be used for low, moderate income designated areas or for handicap accessibility. So our census tract in Delanco, there's no areas that qualify for this grant. So what we do is we apply for handicap accessibility to reduce the barriers to handicapped individuals. In this case, we're doing curb ramps. We've done this past several years. There's 1 year that didn't award it, but the previous years we've done this. And it's the corner curb ramps. We replaced them with ADA approved ramps. You see it out there. There's ramps with the little domes and no one knows what they are, little bumps on the ramps. They're called truncated things. They're required for the blind. And for wheelchair, they have to meet certain slopes and grades to meet the standards. So there are some areas in town that don't have any existing ramps, that we're putting in ramps, and there's other areas where there are existing ramps, but they do not meet the current code, so they'll be replaced. This grant, the grant is due on December 20th, so we'll get that prepared and get that in. We're going to apply, my report actually had 17 ramps, but if we're looking at it, we're going to apply for 24 ramps. And how it works is whatever money we get, then we can do whatever ramps we can do for that. I didn't want to get stuck in case they gave us extra money for some reason. I doubt it, but you never know. So the ramps are on the corners of Delaware and Oakford. Delaware and Center, Delaware and Edgewood, Pennsylvania and Larchmont, Pennsylvania and Bellevue, Second and Union, Rancocas and Buttonwood, Rancocas and Poplar, Oakford and Hickory, and Second and Walnut. They're the ramps that we're applying for. And once we get the grant and we see how much money we have, we can pick and choose what of those ramps we're actually going to do. So what this is a public hearing. It's required for the grant process. So if anyone has any comments on the grant application, feel free to speak up. If not, we just need a resolution to apply for the grant.
I was just double checking the map when you said Oakford and Hickory. I had to think of where that was.
Oh.
I forgot that little section intersects there
Yep.
by the ball fields. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone have questions on committee before we open the hearing to the public?
Just something that popped into my head. Can those funds, the block grant funds, be merged in with road program monies? So when you're doing the road, you could use that money to offset just for the ramp portion of it and maybe stretch our dollars a little farther?
It can, but it gets real money.
The timing of it.
We actually, you can have different stacks of funding, but we did try that one time to be able to try to get better bid results and pricing, but the project ran late, and we missed a CDGB deadline, a HUD deadline, and we actually then in the next round had a 30% penalty. So we really don't want to, mix those funds, because you've got to keep CDGB funds on a very strict deadline process. And if you run into trouble on a road project that, is larger in scope and miss a CDGB deadline, you could lose out on future funding. So that's what Harry was saying, very cautionary to do something like that.
Yeah. No, I know we had discussed it. It's always better. You had talked about this a couple of months ago, earlier in the year. It's much better to do those ramps at the time you're doing the road, because you can get the grades correct and the slopes and everything else, rather than coming in after the fact and doing the ramp and then trying to match the existing topography.
Yeah, that's typically the best way to do it, but just timing-wise, it doesn't work out. But
Okay.
there are ramps out there that need to be replaced that are in our road program, and they're not in this. So
Yeah.
we will, when we do our roads, we do replace the ramps.
Yeah, the Public Works Subcommittee sat down and went over everything with you, exactly what roads we're doing, what PSE&G is doing to try to match up to make sure it made sense from a planning standpoint. Like we know what next year we're proposing to do with public money and then our private money, so we tried to make the most sense.
All right. Thank you, Harry. I will open up this hearing to the public for the year 2025 Community Development Block Grant application. Any comments or questions on this application? Come to the microphone, give your name and address for the record. It's all not rush at once. All right, seeing no one, we will close this meeting to the public. Do we need a roll call to move forward on this, Jan? I see one on the agenda.
Need a
Yeah, you have a
Um,
resolution,
right. It's right below it. All right. Yeah, that'd be great. Can we have a motion
It's your
on?
first day.
It's my first day on committee, yeah. Am I awake? The answer is no. It was a long weekend. Resolution 2024-150, authorizing application for a grant from Community Development Fund. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Seuss, second by Ms. Fitzpatrick. Roll call, please, Janice.
Mrs. Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Mr. Olet.
Yes.
Ms. Seuss.
Yes.
Mr. Templeton.
Yes.
Mr. Bartlett.
Yes.
And for the record, Mayor, I just want to report on CDGB that I attended, along with Alex Hafner, a mandatory technical meeting last week for the CDGB. So we have met that requirement that representatives have to attend that meeting in
Okay.
order to be eligible.
For that round of funding.
For this next round of funding.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good, thank you. All right, meeting is now open to the public for comments and questions on anything else. This is session number 1. you have any comments or questions, again, approach the podium, give your name and address for the record, and there will be another session towards the end of the meeting as well. Meeting's open to the public. Seeing the same rush of people come up as we did for the previous application, i.e. no one, we will close this portion to the public, and we'll go to comments and reports. We'll start with our professionals, and Mr. Fox.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. There's not a whole lot to report on since our last meeting. It's been a quick time in between meetings. But we did, as Carolyn mentioned, we had a subcommittee meeting. And Carolyn, did you want to talk about the Pacific Park in your report or your timeline?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
We don't have committee reports tonight.
No, but I can talk
Yeah.
about it, save you.
All right.
Yep. So actually, I really don't, at CDBG, we just talked about, so everyone have anything else to report this time?
Wow, thank you,
What have you been
Harry.
doing, Harry?
It's
Jeez.
nice.
Boring month for you. All right. Thank you, Harry. And we don't pay you by the word, so that works. All right, Mr. Heinhold.
Now to the person that you do pay by the word.
Pretty much.
Just a couple quick things. For those people who are following the township's efforts to acquire 401 Creek Road, there's nothing on the agenda formally about that tonight, but I just wanted to alert you that that is still in motion. There will be a matter relative to that before the planning board tomorrow night. We have administrative subcommittee meetings with them set up to address some of the issues related to the matter, and that includes a site inspection tomorrow. So there will be additional action on the agenda in 2 weeks relative to that, and we do continue to press forward in pursuit of that matter. The only other thing I wanted to update again, we have this fourth round obligation that the legislature has indicated relative to affordable housing. Delanco is in excellent shape relative to that issue because of the actions it took in round 3. So we have a number slightly lower than anticipated per the numbers that were issued by the state. And on top of that, you know, we're already in great position relative to what's been done in the past. So we'll continue to update details on that, and there will be governing body action in the new year relative to compliance with that. But unlike a lot of other towns, Delanco has put itself in a very, very positive position relative to the affordable housing issue. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Doug. And on that 401 Creek Road topic, there will be a public hearing at the next committee meeting on December 16th.
Mayor, can I give my report?
On the on
Project
yeah,
management?
Yep, go ahead, please.
Okay, so on the 21st, I met with Richard, Scott Taylor, and Harry Fox regarding Waterfront Park down at Zoberg Mansion. And we came up with the following timeline in order to get that project finished and on schedule. So the Waterfront Park, actually the park design of it, we have a timeline as follows. So by the 9th of this month, we're going to have our professional services proposal submitted. ERI is actually going to handle the bid documents and the bid process with Taylor Design providing the specs. They'll show the costs for design administration and construction supervision. On the 16th, we'll have a resolution on the agenda to do the approval for those proposals. January 30th, we're going to run the bid process, and we're going to have a bid to advertise on the 130, and then on 2/4 we will actually go out to bid. Right now we don't have a pre-bid meeting need right now for the contractors. February 25th, bids will be due. March 3rd, we're going to award bids at our scheduled township committee meeting. April 1st, projects start, and we're going to also do the notice to proceed, 90-day completion. So we have a pretty tight deadline, and we're hoping to have everything completed by July 1st. And depending on lead time for the gazebo, so the gazebo is kind of the snag in this whole project, whether we're going to do a stick build, if we're going to do a prefab, if we're going to be able to purchase it, because in order to meet this timelines, you're looking at like an 8 to 12 week lead time in order for the contractor to order and have it installed. And with a tight deadline, he might not be able to meet that. Our goal is to have the park open by July 4th, right, so that the residents can enjoy it. So the township might actually purchase that separately and have the contractor install it, but ultimately Scott Taylor is looking into the best option for us from a cost standpoint, as well as what makes sense from a project management standpoint. So after July 4th, shortly after that, I know if everything goes well, we'll look to have our dedication and grand opening ceremony. So, yeah, we went over a bunch of, detailed specs about what we should do as far as lighting and steps and curb replacement when we do the street. So it was a very technical meeting, but it went really well. And everybody seems to feel like they can meet those deadlines, and I think we're in good shape right now. One other thing is we applied for the New Jersey American Water bottle filling station grant. And when I say we, it was actually through Del Riv, DISA. And they were awarded that grant for $2,500 to put a bottle filling station at the Field of Dreams concession stand outside on the left-hand side if you're looking at it. We did get an estimate from the plumber to install that bottle filling station for $2,750. So Del Riv will be paying the plumber directly $2,500. And then the township has, everyone's cool with it, we can pay the $250. And just wanted to let everybody know that that will be installed. There's a 60-day deadline. It has to be installed now, actually. Why they decided to make us install in the wintertime is beyond me because the water's off, but that's the grant term. So I emailed the plumber to see when he can get out there and do that for us, and then there'll be a photo op. But I think it'll be nice. All the kids can have a bottle filling station out there and the people that visit the park. So just wanted to bring that to committee's attention. Recreation is aware of it as well, and if anybody has any questions or concerns, happy to answer them.
Can't wait to see the park open.
I'd like to congratulate Carolyn for submitting that grant, because that's really great for our kids that are playing out there. And it was in New Jersey American Water Company's, their news drop they have every month, that our town was listed in there for the other towns that were granted the same type of grant. So thank you, Carolyn.
Oh, of course. I'm happy that worked out. It's actually Susan Matera that brought it to my attention. She had emailed the committee, so it had to be applied for under a nonprofit, so that's why we did it under Del Riv.
All right, and you're talking about the waterfront park. Are we going to be moving that fence back to the seawalls?
Yes.
For the,
So John should be. So we're only going to move it back in the section where the tent is going to be for the carriage rides.
Okay, there's enough
Yeah.
section there to.
Yeah, because we
wiggle
want to
around.
keep the grass sectioned off so it can continue to do its thing.
Okay,
So,
all right, good.
Where do you want it at?
so where the tent is usually for the
Yeah.
carriage rides, just move the fence back far enough towards the seawall so they can put the tent there.
Check with Santa.
All the way down?
As far as 20 feet in, it's a 20 by 20
You
tent.
want it all the
So
way down?
as far as yeah, talk to Phil about it.
Okay. Just so I know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right. Township Administrator, Richard.
And the only thing is budgets. There's still a few department and offices that have not submitted their departmental budgets. And hopefully we'll have all the organization budgets by the end of the year, so I can put together a compilation and get it out to the governing
Okay.
body in January.
I'll get you OEMs this week.
Thank you. I didn't mean you for.
I'm sure your $2,500 budget ain't gonna kill us.
All right. Anyone have any questions for Richard? All right, department heads, Lieutenant.
Short turnaround from the last meeting, so I have nothing to report.
Wow.
No crime.
We're not paying you by the word either. All right, Mr. Fenimore,
Yes.
you pick up any leaves lately?
We gotta get his
Into the-
microphone
Picking
down.
them up now.
Microphone
Pull your
down.
mic down, John.
We-
Pull your
we're-
mic down. There you go.
Doing pretty good. We've gotten so far to this year, 1,080 yards so far leaves. We got 9 rows, and that's 3 towns. But we're doing pretty good. We've never been around town 3 times before Thanksgiving. That's a first, because of the dry leaves. And it's doing really well. We've had the street sweeper out, and they've been cleaning up, and getting the little stuff along the curb instead of having the guys drag the hose down, just makes it, Bobby's got like 40 loads just in the
Wow.
sweeper
Wow.
alone. And they're pretty much, like, I would say at least 7 yards of leaves in that, and they're compacted, so it helps. Got the, authorization to cut the basin out of the field drain, Newton's Landing, and the tree work should start. I got contract in the bid for tree work, and that's gonna be going out this week, starting. They'll be starting,
All right.
and that's it.
Good. I did notice, I know we mentioned at the last meeting, more and more people are still putting brush out to the curb, not leaves. Will be,
Yes, if they wanna bring them out to the garage, they can bring them out to the garage, but,
I'm just worried about them.
It'll be until we get all the leaves off the street.
They
I'm
come
not
back.
gonna send it, it's a pain in the neck, because all the leaves get tangled up in the brush,
yeah, I just want to make sure we get that cleared before that four-letter word starts.
Yeah,
Rain?
No, snow.
we will be putting on a salt spreader this week on one of the trucks, just to be prepared.
Yeah, it might snow Thursday.
Don't,
And
let's
that's
not use
all.
that word. All right, thank you, John. Janice?
I'm sorry.
Yep, John.
Excuse me. We're gonna be starting on the pad for the trailer tomorrow. I'm gonna start digging it out.
Oh, right,
and
Hawk
then-
Island.
And then get the stone for it, and then,
Okay.
Get it
Yeah,
down.
I saw Kenny out there last week marking that out. So.
yep,
And we ordered that, right, Richard? We did the PO for that?
yeah.
I think we have to determine that they understand how to handle that.
Okay.
Kate needed to talk to them so they understand. If somebody's never done any business with a municipality, they get a municipal PO, you might as well, as we're finding out in other vendors, you might as well not expect the stuff. So anyhow, so we got to clear it with them, make sure they understand what they're getting. And so it's ready to be issued, and I'll find out tomorrow. I'm in the office for a week, so.
Okay.
Great. Janice?
I have nothing at this time. I don't know if anybody was going to report one, because we don't meet again until before the tree lighting and the Christmas Village on the 15th, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So there will be Delanco's annual tree lighting on December 15th at Gateway Park, and the Christmas Village with vendors and just a good time. So that is December 15th. Bev, did you have anything?
Just the carriage rides are going to be on Saturday the 14th, and tickets are on sale now at Brown's Jewelers.
Get them while they still have them. I bought mine today, and he was starting to run low, so go get them. And keeping on the Christmas spirit, Santa Claus will be making his way around town on the fire trucks on the 21st. So be on the lookout. We'll be starting around 11 o'clock in the morning. All right. Where are we at? Consent agenda. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Does anyone have any comments or questions on the consent agenda? Or need anything pulled? All right. Resolution 2024-151, bless you, refunding unexpended escrow account. Resolution 2024-152, reviewing and approving the 2025 salary for the fire commissioners of Fire District Number 1 in Delanco Township. Resolution 2024-153, resolution appointing animal control officer for 2025. Payment of bills, current fund, $692,687.22. Payroll, $118,775.45. Capital fund, $23,922.35. Escrow trust, $2,877.50. Cops Care Trust, $1,333.33. Can I have a motion for approval of the consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Kate, second by Fern. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Patrick?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
Ms. Susie?
Yes.
Mr. Templeton?
Yes.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes. Correspondence.
I have none.
Okay. Meeting is open to the public for comments and questions, session number 2. As is before, if you have any comments or questions, please approach the podium. Give your name and address for the record. Meeting's now open to the public.
Yeah.
Ray, we knew eventually you'd make it up.
Oh, yeah. I want to thank John for...
Name and address.
Name and address. We know who you are, but...
Ray Weber, 22 Ships. I want to thank John for getting the authorization together for the cutting of the basins, because that's one of my things that came up. On Emery and Newton's Landing, I think you were talking about redoing the curbing along that one section of Newton's Landing. Would it be possible, in order to help slow down some of the traffic, some of the people coming in there, because even though they've got the sign up, they're telling the speed limit's 25, we still have people barreling through there, and I know the officers have been giving tickets out or warnings or whatever, as well as not stopping, and they were told, and everyone in the development was told about it. Would they be able to put any saw cuts into that street in order to put like rumples or something like that to slow them down? Something, because you can't put humps in, you can't put any of these hills and valleys type stuff in there. We're looking for trying somehow or another to slow down some people. I mean, some of these senior citizens have lead feet.
Problem with those salt cuts is it's loud.
Yeah,
When they
well,
go over
that's
it.
just it.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for something to
Yeah.
slow them down. And that came out of our maintenance meeting today, which I'm part of also. You know, we're looking to try to figure out how to slow down some people and coming into development. That's the reason why I wanted to ask Harry about it and stuff, if it was possible.
Can the
And
HOA
I don't
give their
know,
residents
it
fines?
shouldn't affect anybody plowing, because it would just roll right over it, you know, with the plow, I would think.
Yeah, I don't know that the cuts will do any good. There are some traffic calming ideas that can be done, but
Yeah,
it's
I know.
it's just one of those things that the speed humps, you have issues with fire trucks and with plowing, et cetera. You can do bump outs, narrow the street down.
Yeah,
But that's another problem for plowing.
yeah,
so-
yeah, I know. That's the reason why I was just thinking saw cuts, you know? Like they have in other areas, in other towns also. They've done the same darn thing. In Delran, in Morristown, in Pemberton, in Cherry Hill. They've done that in order to slow down people from barreling through. They've also put humps in there, not just like the short hump, but like the long ones like you have down at the airport and stuff in there, just to try to slow people down so that they go down. That's what I'm trying to come up with ideas to try to help some of the, even though I tell the residents, sometimes I might as well talk to myself.
Ray, you can, and you can ask the lieutenant about this, but people speed on all the streets
I
in
know.
town. I mean, it's not just Newton's Landing,
I know, but-
Boulevard,
yeah.
and I have a real short street, and it's
Cocos
amazing.
Raceway.
And they have to go to the marina, a lot of them
Yeah.
during the summer with the boats, and they just whip around that corner.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. So it's just something that you can just keep educating your residents about it, and that's about it. And put the speed sign out there, the vehicle.
Yeah, they have that out there right
Yeah.
now. And it doesn't, I mean, I've seen people
I
coming
know,
along.
they still don't do it, but
Yeah, so
I just know that we have that issue in Delanco all over.
Yeah.
And we just can't do those saw cuts everywhere.
Yeah. I'm just trying to come up with ideas
Yeah.
and
I
stuff.
understand, I thank you.
And the last thing I have is, in last month's meeting, you were talking about stormwater ordinance. I know that the state and stuff I've read that ordinance from the state, all the information on stormwater ordinance, what's required. We just don't want to make sure that you dummy down a stormwater ordinance just to get it passed so that you say, oh yeah, I have a stormwater ordinance.
Oh, trust me, hey, it's not dummied down.
I mean, because what happens is, the industry today, and all these builders and lawyers and everybody else, they pick each word apart on an ordinance, and they'll crucify that word, and then that's how they end up allowing things to happen and stuff like that. You don't want to have a dummy-down ordinance on there.
No,
to
Mr.
cover
Templeton's
ourselves.
done hours and hours of work on that to make sure it makes sense and we're not trying to cut corners, so he's done a nice job.
Yeah, I'm just want to make sure, because I'm afraid, like, what happens is, like, down in North Wildwood, they dummy down an ordinance down there. Not for stormwater, but for other stuff, and people are taking advantage of it. And that's the only reason why I'm just saying, because I go to meetings down there too.
Well, North Wildwood's got his own set of problems down there,
Yeah.
so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so, but anyhow, that's all I wanted to bring up. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Ray. Anyone else? All right. Seeing none, we will close this session to the public. Discussion items, 2025 Township Committee reorg and annual meeting schedule. I think everyone has a copy of the proposed schedule in your packets.
No?
No, it's at the end there.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right there.
Yeah.
There was one question
The September
on
meeting.
September, whether we have it on the 15th or the 29th.
Yeah, I had said move it to the 29th, because 22nd was what, Yom Kippur?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said move it to the 29th, and then we can actually have the October meetings a little later, maybe.
Actually, Yom Kippur is until October 1st.
Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah, I'm sorry.
Hashanah's 22nd.
But they didn't change the October meetings.
Yeah, did we want to move the October meetings to the 13th and 27th? This way we don't have 3 weeks of no meetings into November,
That's a good idea.
instead of
actually.
2 meetings in a row.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So the 29th and then
Yeah, the offices are closed on the 13th.
Yeah.
Can't do it on Thursday.
Oh, October 13th.
Legal holiday.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. To make it the 6th and the 27th, and that would be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 6th and the 27th for
But
October?
there's no reason, October, there's no reason to change. From the 20th,
Well, yeah, it
27th.
is, because I don't want to have 3 weeks of no meeting between October and November. This
Oh,
was my
well,
point.
Because of the November meeting.
Yeah, because of the November meeting.
Yeah, that's fine.
Why don't we have 2 meetings in November, the 10th and the
Because of Election Day
election day would be the 3rd.
and then Veterans Day.
Yeah, and Veterans Day.
Veterans Day is on a Tuesday.
Yeah, but they're off on Monday.
Are they off? Okay.
No, I think
Not necessarily.
I think we're off that Tuesday.
I know they celebrated on Tuesday, but
I think we get the actual day for veterans.
Yeah, so then why don't we have November meetings, 2 November meetings then?
You want the 10th?
Yeah, the 17th?
I would do this,
'cause
I
they're,
hate to do 2 back-to-back, 10th and 17th, but otherwise then you're doing the 24th and the 1st for December.
All right, we don't do that.
Okay, so what's the October meetings then? The 6th and the 27th, or the 6th and the 20th?
I would keep 6th and 20th.
And then do the 10th and the 17th of November. You're gonna have back-to-back in September and October too.
no, you're gonna have the 8th and the 29th.
September 29th and October 6th.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So September 22nd, we're not doing because of Rosh Hashanah?
Mm-hmm.
Rich, what's the last day of Rosh Hashanah? It's a week, isn't it?
Well, 22nd, is Monday, it starts that night, the 22nd, so it's the daytime is 23rd and 24th. It's 2
Okay.
days, but it starts that night, that's the main
Okay.
starting point. I mean, there's nothing illegal on it, I mean, just goes,
Well,
Be aware.
Richard's not gonna be
He's
here.
not here.
Yeah. Right, none of us are Jewish, though.
So we're gonna have the 26th?
Yeah,
All right, so
okay, so, circle back. September 8th and 22nd.
September 8th and 22nd.
And then October 6th and 20th.
So just like it's shown.
Yes. And then do you want to do a November 10th meeting still? We probably should, this way you don't go 3 weeks.
You can always put it on your regular schedule and then cancel it if you don't need it.
There you go.
Yep.
We knew you were here for a
Cancel the
reason.
17th.
Yeah.
Either that or have the 10th and then cancel the 17th if we don't need
If you
it.
don't
Yeah.
need it.
Play it
Yeah.
by ear when you get there.
Not like we haven't had something to do every meeting, so.
I know, but it's nice to have a break
It is,
sometimes.
yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna do the 10th and the 17th in November.
Yes.
That's what we're gonna schedule.
Okay.
All right.
So for September, you're staying with the 8th and the
22nd,
22nd.
Right.
Back to the 8th and the 22nd.
Yep.
Mhm.
You're not moving it to the 29th.
Mm-mm.
Correct.
In October, you're doing the 6th and the 20th. You're not changing that, right?
Correct.
And November, you're doing the 10th and the 17th. And December is the 1st and the 15th.
Yes.
Is everybody okay with the budget dates and times?
Yes.
Phil, you okay?
And then reorg is January 2nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. And your first regular business meeting is Monday, January 6th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Also, too, do you want to keep executive sessions the way you've been doing them, advertise them, that they would occur before, could occur before a regular township committee meeting starting as early as 5:30 p.m.?
Yes.
That's
Please.
fine. One question, Richard, about the budget schedule. It said 4/4 introduced at regular meeting if necessary. 4/4 is a Friday.
Oh, sorry, picked the wrong date.
Or 7?
I meant 7th.
7th, okay.
Typo.
That's
Thank
all
you.
right.
You can come in the 4th if you really want. So.
Come on Friday.
So everybody just changed that on there.
Yeah, I do.
And 21st
That's
public
just a
hearing.
suggestion thing, it's not legal.
Right.
Yeah. I just was looking at my schedule because I'm away on the 4th, so.
All right, thank you. Yeah, it's just,
Okay, otherwise it's March 17th we're going to introduce if we have everything done
Yeah.
Hope
beforehand.
is that we'll do it on the 17th, but if that
Right.
doesn't work.
Yeah, we've been pretty good the last couple of years.
I don't know, Phil might throw a wrench into it.
He didn't even hear you.
I know.
Okay. Anyone have any more comments or questions on the meeting schedule or the budget schedule?
No, I'm good, but I do have a question for Harry regarding the ADA ramps. I just got an email from a resident who was trying to watch the video, and I know I had asked about this some time ago, West Avenue and Goucher.
Yeah, that's on the list to do this year, actually.
Okay.
From the 2024 grant.
Yeah, because there are people that actually live there there's some people that live in that area that have wheelchairs, and that's,
Yeah,
it's been a problem.
Yep, that's already being designed right now, actually.
Okay, great,
And that'll be done in the spring?
I'll be done in the spring.
good. Thank you.
All right. Does anyone have anything else before we go home? I just realized we have hands back on the clock now on the wall, and it's correct.
Kenny did a good job. He's
All right.
standing behind it, he's moving it manually. Couldn't find a replacement for any of the parts. so he-
Close enough.
Like the outfield wall.
Yeah, like-
All right.
like Wrigley.
And just to let you know, kudos to Kenny for really working an alternative way to get that clock fixed. Because after contacting the vendor out in like Minnesota or whatever it was, and to ship out the parts, ship it back, it was gonna be about $1,800. Yeah. So he worked with our electrician and got a motor and got it fixed for a fraction, and I mean a fraction of the cost.
That's
You
great.
just go to Home Goods and get a $20 clock and just have someone change the battery and the time.
Stop it, Matt, stop
Yeah,
it.
it's,
A little motor, right?
so, but he did a very nice job with, working that out, so it was very inexpensive to fix.
It's always good to think outside of the box.
Did anybody see the Field of Dreams concession stand and sign?
of the painting.
Looks great.
Looks
good.
amazing.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. The color really turned out nice.
Yep.
Okay. Unless we have anything else, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Oh, thank God. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you
Aye.
very much, everyone. See you in 2 weeks.
With your radio voice. See you in 2 weeks. I don't have a radio voice, so nobody